Hey everyone, welcome back to Catching Up with the Walkers. Thanks for stopping by. Came out and started Cassie's car earlier. You saw a little bit of video there. And now, look at this. I'm going to open her door for her.
Oh, you're so nice.
Because she's leaving. It's
Teachers meetings,
15
professional development.
Professional development. Well, Cassie can be
guys.
a lot more professional. You guys know that. All right. Good luck.
Thanks.
Bye. Love you.
Love you.
So as you guys can see, it has snowed a little bit, not a lot. So I know all you northern folks and people up in Kansas right now in different areas, I know you have a lot more snow than us. We're big babies, and that's okay. I'll take it. I'd rather be a baby in Oklahoma than a hardcore cold weather person up north. So with the cold weather moved in, that means twice as much work. And not only do we have to water in the evening, but also in the morning time. I go around, break ice, and run fresh water if I need to for several of the animals. So I'm going to check in on the fire real quick. And Bella, wouldn't you know it, has a doghouse over here, insulated with straw. And guess what? She does not get in it. These igloo doghouses are great. Shelby stays in it all night. But Bella, she chooses to just hang out by the back porch and sit on the rug. I don't know why. I guess she's got lots of fur and that's why. But today we're going to go pick up our steer from freezer camp. This whole outside could be freezer camp right now. So we're going to go pick up our steer and see exactly how much meat you get back from an average weight on our steers was 1,600 pounds. How much meat do we get back? But let's check on the fire. Ooh, it feels so good. So that definitely does help keep our house warm at night. So I'm going to head in. The kids are home today. Cassie has professional development, so I'll bring them along as we pick up the meat. But what do you do for exercise whenever the high is in the teens and there's a north wind in the middle of the day at 15 or 20 miles an hour? What do you do for exercise? Well, I exercised last night. I got in over 3 miles, never left the comfort of my home. I want to show you how right now. So I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to get my exercise in, and that is with Flexispot. This is the Flexispot 2-in-1 walking treadmill. So not only does it have walking modes, but also a running mode. Also, you could put this right up against the desk to be a standing desk, but it's going to track your time, speed, distance, and calories. I think it's super important to be mindful of your overall health, and one of the best ways to do that is with walking and running. Great exercise, it benefits your heart, you burn calories, which helps with weight loss, so there's a lot of different benefits. So you can control the speeds, variable speeds you have right here. Right now I want to catch up on my buddy Brandon over at Eddie Family Farm, so I'm going to use the walking function and the iPad holder. If you want to take it up a notch and get a good run in, this treadmill is perfect for walking or running, and it's suitable for a wide range of users. It has a weight capacity of 264 pounds. It also has a 2-year warranty, so you don't have to worry about whether it's going to last or not. I really like the different mode settings. You can find right here on the remote, 3 miles if you want, or maybe you have a goal of calories and you want to burn maybe 250 calories. So you can go straight up to that. Maybe you just want to get 15 minutes in a day and then set your goal. It really does seem they've thought of everything. A nice little magnetic spot here to store the remote as you go to put it away. And I love how it fits almost in any space. Flexispot provides all kinds of standing desk, ergonomic chairs, and walking treadmills to enhance your demands. If you're looking for an easy way to stay active, the 2-in-1 walking treadmill is perfect. Now is the time to add movement to your day without leaving the comfort of your home. Use my code WP20OFF to get $20 off. It's time to try Flexispot. So in cold weather like this, I opt for the truck 5-gallon buckets instead of side-by-side or four-wheeler or anything like that. It's just too cold to be out and about. So, that sun is bright. So let's go check on the animals, make sure everybody's okay. And I just want to make sure that water's busted and they at least get a drink. And then they'll get a drink again this afternoon or evening. So that's the goal. The good thing right now, though, is I don't have to worry about the cattle. because the creek down there where the cattle are at is running, and I don't necessarily have to worry about them. So the rest of them, the little critters, got to worry. Well, I don't even think they're going to come out of their house if they don't have to. So I busted their water. You can see frozen solid, and that's why I like those rubber pans though. They really help out. And then I always check for eggs in the morning too if I get a chance, just because if not, they might be cracked by the end of the day. So right now we have one egg and it's not cracked. Thank you, ladies. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring the one egg in. So it looks like the donkeys choose to be out in the field, out in the open. I went ahead and busted their water as well, but that's just part of it. You can have shelter. We made sure they could get under the barn, and they choose to be out there. So at least there's one place I do not have to bust ice. That's down here at the cattle water. They do have the creek, but they come up here to drink, so I came down to go ahead and run a little bit of water, and it shoots out, I don't know, 60, whatever the ground temperature is, 50 to 60 degree water, and they grab a hold of it. And that feels so warm. Oh man. I've said it before and I'll say it again. That groundwater is a good similarity to Christ in our lives. It's constant. It never changes. It's always the same. Day in and day out. We change, but it doesn't. Whenever it's 100 degrees, I turn that on. It feels ice cold. When it is 19 degrees like today, oh, I think my power bank went dead. But when it's 19 degrees like today and I turn it on, it's warm. And that's just the way it is. So that was probably enough to go ahead and break it. And I think the cows had probably already kind of broken it anyway. But a tank that big, it takes longer to freeze. So I'll have to get a new power bank. I charged them all up, but this one just went dead. Probably come from the cold weather. So I just changed out the water for this chickens, that chickens, and I forgot my own rule yesterday. I filled the water pans up and only do them halfway full. I got Kleenex or something on my face there. Only do them halfway full, because if you fill them up completely, then they're harder to bust. If you fill them up halfway, you can actually bust them out. So I'm gonna go out here, bust the sheep's water, finish up, and we'll catch up with you guys a little bit later when we go get the meat. So you might can tell by the lack of snow on the ground that it's the next day. So I got caught up yesterday. We'll have a new video out on Walker Farm Fan probably tomorrow, showing you guys what we got, something new over at the school. So I spent some time outside yesterday when it was 19 degrees to 23 degrees, somewhere in that range. And so my voice today is not as good. It's a little bit scratchy, so I apologize, but you know what? Life must go on. It doesn't stop. Still had to break ice this morning and still have things to do. So
We are at Homegrown in Locust Grove, Oklahoma, and this is a local freezer camp slash processor that we use for first time we've used them for beef. They do a couple things different. We also have used Mays County Processing. They do a great job too. So either one of these you're going to be good with. Homegrown actually has some half steers right now. I believe they sell them whole, half, maybe quarter, I'm not sure. But if you guys are interested here and you're local, it's here in Locust Grove. Great place to shop. You can go in and grab a few cuts of meat, or you can of course buy a whole or a half. They don't ship, you'll have to come pick it up, but great people, and you will be happy with the processing if you come here. So I'm gonna go in, we'll get the beef. I might bring you along a little bit to see us loading it up, but what does a 1,600-pound steer look like when it comes back from freezer camp, and how much meat will we get? Let's go see. All right, well, I got paid up and they are bringing the meat up, so I'll show you real quick what it looks like inside here. They have a freezer over here, so you can come in and shop local. Beef ribeye steak, stew meat, Kansas City strips, you know, skirt steak, ground beef. And this is one of their selling points too, I like, is that they make it really thin. This is 1 pound of ground beef. See how thin that is? It'll frost out or defrost really, really quickly. So all of our ground meat will be just like that. And here are the prices. Lamb and goat, Rowdy better watch out. That's not bad, $125. Also, they do deer. When Cassie gets a deer out at her dad's, a lot of times he'll take it here, and they do a great job on the deer too. So here comes the meat. So we just got everything loaded up, and it looks awesome. Lots of beef. Lots and lots of beef. There's some of the steaks right there. There's ground beef. So how much did we get? Let's go find out. So I made it home. I'm gonna start trying to figure out exactly where I'm gonna put this. I'll probably bring it in the house just to kind of get a good weight on everything. I'll weigh it each bag at a time. That way I can tell you guys how much actual packaged beef we got out of the steer that weighed 1,600 pounds. And I went by Sonic. Yes, I'm spoiled myself a little bit today. Bella, I didn't get you anything. I got a Route 44 water with lemons, limes, and strawberries. So I like Sonic's ice. I like their fruit in their drinks. So let's see what fire's doing. So I'm gonna throw a log on the fire and we'll get to carrying in some meat. So it seems like the number one question we always get is how much meat do you get out of their beef? So I know that there's a lot of variables. You get 60% after they have a hanging weight, and then from the hanging weight you get a certain percentage. But to me, I think what matters most is how much actual meat am I putting in my freezer. So there are still some variables there. So like depending how much you get cut off the bone versus like T-bones if you get them left in, different steaks. And then, you know, there's some things like roast and different things you might want ground up and I might want to keep. So I'm just going to weigh all the meat I get, and then I'll have a number for you out of 1,600 pounds. How much meat do we actually put in the freezer? So I'm going to carry this all in one bag at a time. I'm going to weigh it with my scale, and then I'm going to subtract my weight, and we'll find out how much we got. So here's the first bag of meat. Oh, with the meat, 243. Oh, without the meat, 188. So 243 minus 188. So I got all the meat inside. And I'm actually going to be carrying a lot of this back outside to the shop, but I wanted to get it inside, get a weight on it, and I want to start going through it because some of it is going to go in here and some of it's going to go out to the shop. So I'll kind of sort through it. So I carried in 13 bags. Each one of the bags I weighed as I carried it in, and it had 3,023 pounds is the total off the scale. Well, 2,444 pounds of that was me because I was carrying it in 188 pounds times 13 bags. So that was 2,444. So a total weight came down to 579 pounds of beef. That is off of a 1,600 pound steer. So let's see, you're gonna have, that's a little more than a third, probably about 40% of the actual 1,600 pounds comes out to real meat that you're gonna put in your freezer. So I checked my math, 36% is actual meat. So you have the hide, the bones, all the organs that don't get consumed and different things that are in that beef. So your numbers are always going to vary a little bit. My steers were a little bit heavy, probably a little bit full of grain and full of stuff. When I brought them in, I never pulled them off a feed or anything. So they were living their life right up until the day we brought it in. So 579 pounds, that will last our family at least a year and a half, up to 2 years. And I will be giving away probably a third of this. Usually I give away about a third of it to the different pastors at our church and some family members and stuff like that. So a third of this will be gone, giving it away. The rest of it, I got to go stack it in the freezer. So I'm going to sort through it. My favorite steak by far, right here, that is the ribeye steak. So this is a nice big ribeye. You can see it has some marbling in it, and it has a little fat on the outside. I like to cook it with that fat on, tear the fat off afterwards. That needs to go. But what I like to see is right here in the middle of the steak, you'll see little bits of marbling, and perfect ribeye for me. My other probably favorite, filet. So this is a small steak, but it's a filet, and it is so tender, so delicious. Here is a rump roast, and the rump roasts are nice size, be perfect in the crock pot. And then we have hundreds of pounds of ground beef. So this is how they do their ground beef. The reason they do it nice and thin, and it's about 4 inches by 8 inches. But let me show you why they do it like that. So in the freezer, and I'll show you this when I stack it later, it stacks up nice and flat, but that's not why I like it. Yes, it's nice to stack it in the freezer neatly, but when you go to thaw this out, you drop this down into a warm bowl of water or just set it out, it thaws out 2 to 3 times faster than if the meat was in a rounded type package. So really awesome that they do their ground beef this way. Huge fan of homegrown and them doing it like this. So we definitely had to clean out to get ready for this, but I'll show you guys the before. So all we have is the ground deer meat from this year, and up here is all the cuts of deer meat from this year. So there's that. So this is where all the steaks, roasts will go mostly. And over here, all ground beef. So that's going to be for ground beef only. So here we go. So my freezers are pretty well full. All this is what we're giving away right here. And this is the part nobody wants to talk about. So we got beef liver, beef tongue, oxtail, heart, and more beef liver. So those are perfectly good. If you guys have any recipes, leave them in the comments. But if nothing else, we'll be giving these to the dogs. They'll definitely enjoy it. So I don't recommend this type of freezer to stack a lot of different varieties in. But if you have all ground beef or all one type of meat, these are awesome. Because I know from top to bottom, that is all ground beef. And then in this freezer, you have your variety. You have steaks up here, Kansas City strips, fillets. We have our tenderized round steaks, ribeyes, all right here. All my briskets are right here. A little more ground meat. We've got roasts and stuff down here, and we have sirloins right there. Over here, that's all deer, but down here is all my stew meat. So I've got packages of stew meat right there. And that's how we do it. That's what we like to do. This is the perfect amount of meat for our family for about 18 months, maybe up to 2 years. We had a steer butchered 18 months ago, and I ended up giving away some of that meat. It's still perfectly good meat, but I gave a little bit of it away. We only had maybe 20 or 30 pounds of ground left. But now, like I said, we're restocked, ready to go. Should be good for a long, long time. So I'm going to have to go do all the chores, and then we'll catch up with Cassie a little bit later today and see exactly how her basketball games went tonight. So she has games today. Again, sorry, I'm a little bit hoarse. Nothing hurts. It just doesn't sound good. So everything's good on the farm. Got everything put away, and now do chores. So I want to get the chores done, but before I do, I want to take some ashes out to the garden. So I don't know if you guys burn wood, but I've always heard that ashes are really good for a garden and improving the soil. So a lot of times that's what we do with our ashes. We put them out here to the garden. So let's get out here and dump some ashes. Got to test the wind. So that is something that you don't think about in the middle of winter, but in about 60 or 90 days, people are going to be planting their gardens. It won't take long, and this whole winter time will be over with. I think most of the animals enjoy the sunshine. Even if it's still cold, they like the sun, don't you girls? Yeah, Bella and Shelby love the sun. The cows enjoy the sun, so let's go ahead and get them fed. So if you want to find out how my wife made me sick, you have to go to a different video. That's going to be tomorrow's Walker Farm Fam. She did it to me, but just have to find out. I told her how much meat we got back though. Did you see any of the footage of the meat in the freezer? Probably not. She's been coaching all the afternoon. So I got all the meat put away.
Awesome.
I got all the other meat.
Where would I see this said footage?
I think I uploaded a Facebook
reel on Facebook?
reel. Maybe I don't have one of it actually in the freezer yet though. So maybe there's not anything out there. But either way, I have it all in the freezer and all nice, neat, organized. I have all the ground beef full of that little freezer, so we are set.
Awesome.
We had one deer still in the freezer, the deer that Cassie got this year that also came from homegrown. So everything in our freezer at this point is from homegrown processing. So Really happy with them though. They did good with our deer, and you guys saw the beef though. But Cassie, how was your games? How was your day?
My girls played awesome. We won 57 to like 8 or 15. I can't remember. But
I think it was 15.
I did sub a lot. I did play a lot of the girls that don't get to play a whole lot. My main girls just came out strong and put the pedal to the metal and got a good lead. And my other girls came in and did a great job and kept it going. So.
And the boys won as well?
Yes. 2 W's for tonight.
All right. Well, you can't beat that. Cassie, me and the kids went and watched the girls' game. I brought Mazzy and Ransom home to get them baths and in bed before it got too late. Ranger's a little bigger. He got to stay and come home with Cassie. So
yep,
that worked out pretty good.
Yep. Another game Friday and busy week next week with a home game. And then we're also hosting a tournament.
But not so fast.
Oh, and then Saturday we got games.
You said another game Friday. What about snow?
Well, that's the other thing.
There's snow in the forecast.
Look at the weather and see what's going to happen.
1 to 3 inches coming in on Thursday.
Oh, geez. Well, at least I'd rather it come in on Thursday than halfway during the day Friday and we got to figure out what we're going to do, or we get to the game and then it starts snowing. So I need it to come before that all happens.
Well, we'll find out. So we had a dusting to about 1 inch. You guys saw in the beginning of this video, just a little bit of snow, but not enough to really impact the roads or anything like that.
Yeah.
But if we get, in Oklahoma, if we get 3 inches, they pretty much shut down the schools.
Yep.
And all the things going on.
It's a game we really want to play because it should be another good game for us, but I'm really not going to be sad if we get to stay home because it's so cold. I'm tired of being out in the cold and I don't want to drive the bus in the cold and all that. So
hey, if you stay out in the cold too long, you might sound
like Gary.
You might sound like me. So as far as prayer requests go, my grandpa did go back to the hospital. So if you guys would keep him in your prayers, he's got some pneumonia stuff going on and different things he has to have antibiotics for. So keep him in your prayers. Cassie, do you have anything?
I saw Stacy, who is our neighbor and a coworker of mine, and her kids play basketball for us. She was at the game today. She looks amazing. She's the one that had brain cancer. They gave her 13 months to live. Next month will be 12 months, but she's cancer free. They're backing her off all the medicine, and she's looking amazing, feeling great. She's actually going to be giving her testimony next month at a women's conference, and we're really excited to go to that. But just a praise on how great she's doing.
Yes, I saw her tonight as well, and so thankful that she's doing well, and it was great to see them. So if you guys have any prayer requests, leave those down in the comments below. Also, if you're interested in Flexispot, check out my link down in the description. Cassie got to hear me run about 3 miles last night on it.
Yep.
While she was catching up on some YouTube videos, I think.
Yep.
So, hey, it does have a holder for your iPad if you want to get on it.
Maybe I'm next.
All right. So, thank you guys for following along. We hope you have a great day, and God bless.
Love you guys.